Guys, I have a confession to make. I spend way too much time staring at screens, computer, phone, TV. I'm always looking at something, even before I go to sleep. It turns out the blue light emitted from those devices was causing digital eye strain and was affecting my sleep. You may be in the same position. Blue light damages our eyes and can lead to blurred vision, headaches, dryness, or watery eyes. For some, exposure to blue light can even cause heightened anxiety, depression, or low energy. BlueBlox was created to change this with high-quality lenses made in a specialized optics laboratory in Australia. Their 40 frames come in prescription, non-prescription, and readers, so you'll find exactly what you need. Go to blueblox.com/Chael. That's BlueBlox, BLUBLOX.com/Chael. Use the promo code Chael at checkout. That's going to save you 20% and get you free shipping worldwide. Or just click in the link below. Khabib's cousin, guys, he was talking about he was going to fight on this card that Conor's going to fight Poirier. Cousin Nurmagomedov is doing this interview. And he said that they moved him from this card so that their teams, meaning his team of Nurmagomedov and Conor's team, did not cross paths in the hotel because a fight would break out. Their teams have to stay apart. And I wanted to caution the cousin. I wanted to caution him to talking like that. Talking like that is one step away from doing that, and everybody that was involved in that was suspended. Artem, I believe, was released over it. I know for sure he was suspended and his fight was canceled. I believe he was even released over it. I mean, it's just a very big deal, right? You've got to be able to get professional athletes together, even combat athletes that do not behave like buffoons. They've got to be house trained and they have to be civil. And I do not blame cousin Nurmagomedov for telling the truth. If that was a true story and they just wanted to keep them apart, I'm all for that. But these things are weird. The hotels are small. We don't have very many rules in this sport. We don't even have very many codes of conduct. You just handle your business in a sanctioned matter. And the moment that that sanctioning ends, your business now ends. You walk away and you live with the result. I mean, it's a pretty simple code. But it is the code. Royce Gracie. I had the greatest talk with Royce. I was in Hawaii 2 years ago with Bellator, and I ended up in a van with Royce. And I made you guys a video about this. Like, as soon as I got done with Royce, I had all these questions I'd always wanted to ask him since I was a kid. And I asked him all of them in the van. I made you guys a video right away, but one of the stories Royce told me had to do with Shootbox and Royce's team, who was Brazilian top team. Is that true? Was Royce ever part of Brazilian top team? No, he's always been Gracie. He's never been part of top team. But the Gracie team, okay, they would go over to Japan and fight. And this is before you had the American top teams. This is before you had the Team Quest. And so anyway, Royce, Team Gracie, and then you got the Shootbox team. And no one got along with the Shootbox team, but that wasn't because they were Shootbox did not want to get along with anyone else. They would have hotel spats. They had backstage spats. Charles Crazy Horse Bennett fights a Shootbox guy, ends up fighting Vanderlei Silva. You guys know that story. I'm just sharing with you. That was backstage. So imagine being in a hotel. Like, Shootbox just kind of went around in numbers. And I never saw this with my own eyes. Never was I even there. And even I know the story. I mean, these guys were such legendary gangster mentality, gang mentality, that even I heard about it in Westland, Oregon. So I only bring that to you because Royce was telling me the story. You guys might remember Chael Gracie. And Chael, I believe, is Royce's, it'd be his nephew, right? Son of Hickson. So that would, and who's Royce's brother, so it'd be Royce's nephew. Chael's with the Gracie guys. And the Shootbox guys are over here. And Royce arrived in Tokyo and rode from the airport in a van to the hotel and got to the hotel at around midnight. But he rode with Chael. Chael's plane had landed, Royce's plane had landed, meet each other at baggage claim, got in a van, get there around midnight. Relevant to the story, save midnight, part of the story. Next morning, 7 a.m., they're having breakfast. Chael walks in, walks straight past the Gracie team and walks right over to Shootbox. And apparently that didn't really happen. You guys stay over here, we stay over here. And Chael goes around the table saying hello to everyone, and everybody says hello and shakes his hand. Hyen gets to some guy who was like a heavyweight, gets to him very last, doesn't shake his hand, drills him, punches him right in the face. So the shootbox guys all jump up, and Royce comes over and grabs him, and Royce says, wait, you guys sit down. We saw everything. I will handle this. We saw what happened. We will handle this. And shootbox sat down. They believed him. They took Royce at his word. So Royce takes him back and says, what the hell are you doing? I saw the whole thing. And Hyen says, no. He started it. He started it. And Royce said, you walked over, he's sitting down, and you punched him in the face. And Hyen goes, no, man, he talked trash. He's been talking a lot of trash. And Royce goes, wait a second. He talked trash. We got in at midnight. It's 7 a.m. When? And Hyen goes, 2 or 3 years ago. I remember it. So, I mean, that's the comic relief of the story. That was the comic relief of the story. As Royce was trying to get to the bottom. Royce was going to handle his nephew. But first, he was at least going to allow him to say his piece. And his nephew informs him this guy talked trash. And Royce said, when? We just got here 2 or 3 years ago, but I remember it. So I only bring that to you. We don't want that. We don't want cousin Nurmagomedov. We don't want the Conor. We don't want any. That's not what this is. You save it for the unified rules. Everybody watching this, all of you, have somebody you work with, whether it's in the office or on a job site, who, if you could get away with it, you would fight. You have someone that drives you crazy. You have somebody on that job site who drives you crazy. But that's not the way it works. You just deal with it. You turn the other cheek. This is one of the few industries, in fact, this is the only industry, where you can get away. You can go do that fight. Not very many rules to this sport. There's not. And there's not many codes of conduct, but a code that we all live by. You're civil. You're house trained. You handle it at the sanctioned time.